Hi everyone, it's Jennifer Hoffman of EnlighteningLife.com. Yeah, my voice is kind of strange. I'm getting over the cold that I caught last week. My first cold in like 7 years, so it's been kind of an interesting little thing here. I want to talk to you about and today is, by the way, July 15th, and I'm saying the date because this weekend we're having a massive solar event that includes CMEs, and which is coronal mass injections, and solar flares, and all kinds of weird things that are going on, and they're all happening at the same time, so you're probably feeling it. I was out earlier today, and I was watching people, and they're distracted, and even one of the checkers at Costco was telling me how she's feeling so disoriented and like she's not really here. And I had to laugh because that's exactly what a lot of you are saying, and it's how I've been feeling too. Like, I'm here but I'm not, and I'm kind of in 3D but I'm not in 3D, and I feel like I'm looking outside of 3D and watching all this chaos and this disintegration of the 3D paradigms. So I want to talk to you about what's going on, what this large photon field that is arriving on the Earth starting probably later today and certainly tomorrow and through Monday, what that means for you and what you can expect from it. So we do have props, and I'm going to give you a little background here. If you look at a video I posted not too long ago about how 5D energy comes in and how it integrates into the 3D paradigm and the disintegration. So I want you to think of the word of disintegrate as coming apart, like unraveling. So first we have props. First we have 3D. Now 3D is a closed system, and this is why we've had so much trouble probably in the last 20 years or longer with the integration of 5D, of higher frequencies in 3D, because it's basically a closed system. So while we were trying to get 5D into 3D basically, or it's just not happening because there's no way for it to get in. So the first thing that had to happen is the 3D paradigm had to disintegrate. It had to start coming apart. We had to start creating openings in 3D so that we could get some of this higher frequency energy in there, and we've done that. So now this is my little kind of disintegrated 3D example. So this is kind of what 3D looks like now. It's got holes in it, it's coming apart, things are unraveling. Well, one of the things that I've been noticing in the last few months, and a lot of you have too, is how much really horrible stuff that's happening. So we're hearing about our governments being involved in secret weapons deals and white phosphorus being used in places like Yemen and Syria, and I posted a picture of that Yemeni girl who was a victim of white phosphorus bombing, and which is a horrible weapon that causes terrible disfiguration, and it burns to the bone, and it's very, very illegal. For one thing, it's against all human rights conventions, all contracts, and all treaties. And we're seeing that, but we're seeing it because what was once tightly woven in this paradigm, what you couldn't see because you just couldn't see it, now is visible to the naked eye. And now we're seeing all the stuff that's going on in the world, and all the horrible things that are happening, all the corruption and the collusion, and it's really disheartening. But it's part of this unraveling. So remember, when 3D was closed, this was going on, we just couldn't see it. Now we've opened up a little bit, and this is happening, and we're seeing it, but it doesn't mean this isn't new. It's just been going on, we couldn't see it before. So now we have this open 3D paradigm that's got all kinds of opportunities for 5D energy to come in. So this is a bit of a replay of an earlier video. So what happens is, here comes this 5D energy, and it starts to find an opening. So here we have, oh my God, 5D energy is coming in. Oh, look, there's a place for it. So we've been seeing 5D, yes, it's going to look kind of weird, but we've been seeing examples of 5D being integrated into our system. People are waking up, people are starting to speak out, they're starting to decide that they want a world where peace reigns and not war. So they're starting to, we're starting to see something like this, our 3D paradigm starting to look like this. And it's a mess. It really is a mess. So what happens is you get all this 5D energy, and then we have to integrate it. We have to figure out where we put it into our own lives. So we start sticking new 5D pair, which of course disintegrates our own reality. So wherever your reality is highly based in 3D or highly closed, those aspects are opening up so that you can integrate this 5D energy. And this is happening individually and globally as well. So now we have, we have this. So what's happened is we can only take so much 5D energy. So we go on these cycles, which we're in right now. We have these energy download cycles where we get a bunch of 5D energy, like it all comes in, and then we can only integrate so much. So maybe we can integrate, you know, a tiny bit, like this much, and then we have all this left over, and I call those energy hangovers because that's what they feel like. It feels like what happens when you have too much to drink and then the next day you feel terrible. So we have this integration, but what's happening now and what's happening in what you're seeing and you're going to see with this big energy download is we've integrated a lot of 5D energy. So what's happening is we are bringing in more, bigger aspects of 5D energy, and these are becoming grounded. So now we are grounding 5D energy in a massive amount. And I got a couple of markers. I'm going to try and find some bigger holes so I can stick these in here. So what's happening is now we have not only the little filaments of 5D energy, you know, the amount that we can take in, we have big 5D energy outposts that are fully grounded and that we can now use in our, okay, like that. So I know this looks kind of funny, but this is actually the way it looks. I mean, this, if you look at things energetically, this is exactly what it looks like. So you've got the incoming 5D energy, and by the way, it's still coming in. But what's happening is, for those of you who've been doing this work for a long time, you're starting to really ground 5D energy into your lives. And how do you know you've done that? Well, there's a couple ways. One is when you start feeling more grounded in your life. So you start being happy, or you start seeing changes, or maybe I know a lot of you have moved, like I have, to new places. And even though if you moved to that new place within the last 12 to 18 months, what happened is you kind of got a head start on your 5D integration. And if you experience like I did, the initial excitement about, oh, I'm moving to a new place was followed by a, how do I fit all of this? How to fit my life into all of this? And how do I get all of this integrated? Well, now you've been there long enough that you're starting to ground this 5D energy. And what's happening is this energy is so much more stable than this energy because it has fully integrated, it's fully inserted itself into the 3D paradigm. You know, something like this, a little bit of 5D energy, yeah, it comes in, it goes out, you can't figure out what to do with it. When you have a big chunk of 5D energy like this, it's once it gets in there, it's staying, and this is what's happening. And then so what's going to happen over the next few months is this will become even bigger, and we will see a bigger set of foundational 5D energies start really pushing themselves into the 3D paradigm, which is going to unravel this even more and create even more chaos, because that's what happens when the 3D paradigm unravels. Is first you have chaos, and then you start, you know, seeing things settle down. So what's going on this weekend is we have a massive amount of photon energy, and I'll say what that is in just a second, coming in because we had a number of solar flares. We had a number of CMEs, which are coronal mass injections, where the ejections, where the actual energy of the sun shoots out towards the earth, and it's all coming this way. And what does the sun give us? What do we get from the sun? Light. And a photon is an element of light. So because the CMEs and the solar flares from the sun over the last few days were so long, one of them was 44 minutes, what happened is that photon field got very, very large. And it's very highly charged, and it's coming towards the earth, but it's light. So it's nothing you should be afraid of. It's nothing that you should try and hide from, because it actually is a really good thing. You know, we have a synergistic relationship with the sun. The sun is our source of light. It is the center of our solar system. We call it a solar system. Well, the sun, the El Sol, is in the middle of it. So when the sun starts erupting and it starts shooting out energy towards us, it's because the earth says, hey, I need energy. I'm ready for a bigger download. Just, you know, send it to me. And we start getting all agitated and nervous, because that's what happens, you know, when all this light energy comes toward us. It's a very big thing for our bodies to take in. So you might feel anxious, a little bit nervous. You might feel very tired. I know I've been quite tired the last few days. And it might energize you at the same time. So you may alternate between being really energized and then being totally exhausted. a couple things that help is one, drink lots of water. Water helps buffer the energy. The other is remember your magnesium. I have found over the last 5 to 7 years, and I've been sharing this with you for quite a long time, that the greater the solar activity, the more energy we're processing, the more magnesium my body needs. And for me, that's anywhere between 1,200 and 2,000 milligrams a day. That's what I take. And you need to decide what your body needs and take what's right for your body. So this is what we're looking at now. So here, where once we had this, nice tight 3D paradigm with everything was all smooth and round, and when we thought, hey, this is really cool. Now we've got this, and yes, it looks like a mess, and it's going to feel like a mess for a while. But this is actually part of the ascension cycle. So there's nothing wrong with this. It's just that in order to disintegrate the 3D and to integrate the 5D and to bring all this energy in and find a place to put it, this is what we had to create. So eventually, this 5D paradigm will never look like this, but it will look much more integrated, and things will smooth out. Because what's going to happen is the 3D paradigm, so what you see, this little brown part, is actually going to expand in all these directions to accommodate the 5D energy, because 5D energy is very expansive. And what it touches, it expands. So as it's being integrated in this 3D paradigm, it's expanding the 3D paradigm. It's opening it up even farther so we can bring in not only 5D energy, but higher frequencies as well. And this is our ascension. This is what we're doing. Ascension is about transformation and expansion. It never was to go off and have the spaceships pull us off somewhere, or to disappear or whatever. Our work is here. So we are bringing heaven on earth, and this is kind of what heaven on earth looks like. It's not the land of milk and honey and fairies and unicorns that we thought it was. It's kind of a mess, but this is what we're dealing with. So what you do as you integrate more of this energy, you help expand this container, this 3D container, even more, so that it can receive more 5D energy, and then it can become this expanded version that allows more of this energy, and then also more of these foundational elements, more of these big pillars of 5D energy to start anchoring themselves into the 3D paradigm. So I hope that's helpful. It is going to be a rather interesting weekend. It has already begun, and we will probably see this through Monday, maybe even into Tuesday, because we have continued solar activity over the last 24 hours. Now, this is also preparing us for the upcoming August 21st eclipse, as you know, which is quite a powerful eclipse. The eclipse path goes across the United States, which hasn't happened since 1918. And also for the September 23rd event, which I will write about in the September Energy Report, which is written about in the Bible, Revelation 12, if you want to read that. I hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching. This is Jennifer Hoffman, and I will see you on the next video. Visit me at enlighteninglife.com.